Okay, good afternoon, all of you. Okay, today we will discuss one topic, that is DFS, that is discrete Fourier series. Okay, this is your discrete Fourier series. Clear? Now, like your continuous time periodic signal, you people read that continuous time Fourier series. Yes or not? Same way we will read the discrete time Fourier series. For that, you all people know that a continuous time signal, let x of t is a continuous time signal, then we can represent in the Fourier series form like x of t equals to a0 summation of n 1 to infinity an cos of n omega 0 t plus bn sine of n omega 0 t, where this a0, an, bn are coefficient. A0 is a DC, okay, and an, bn simple coefficient of x of t. Means here a0, an, bn decides the type of periodic signal. If this values a0, an, bn will change, then obviously the signal x of t also will change. And this x of t is a periodic signal. So we can say that a different coefficient of different coefficient means if you take different value of an and bn and a0, then this periodic signal also will change. Okay, and you all people know this this a0 equals to 1 by t period t x of t dt, n is 2 by t integration t x of t cos of n omega 0 t dt, and bn is 2 by t integration t x of t sine of n omega 0 t dt. Means in the continuous domain, the continuous time Fourier series, we can say that any periodic signal can be represented by infinite sum of sinusoidal signal. Okay, see it is 1 to infinity, it's a cosine signal. This is a sine signal. This cosine signal and sine signal, this is known as sinusoidal signal. Okay, now in the same way, we can represent the discrete Fourier series of a periodic sequence. Okay, now for that, what I will do, say, later I'm taking an exponential signal e to power j 2 pi nk by n, then no doubt this is periodic because e to power j 2 pi n plus capital N k by n equals to e to power j 2 pi nk by n multiply e to power j 2 pi k n by n. This n cancel, and this value equals to 1. So this is equals to e to power j 2 pi nk by n. Means if this is your x of n, and then this is x of n plus capital N, and this is also equals to x of n. Means this exponential signal is periodic with period of capital N. Now I will use this exponential signal to represent a periodic sequence. Let xpn is a periodic sequence. Now I can represent this xpn with the help of this exponential signal, because this exponential signal is periodic by nature. Okay, so what I will do, I want to represent this periodic sequence with the help of this exponential signal. Then what I can do, then I can write like this, let this xpn equals to summation of k equals to some period n xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n. Okay, means here this xpn is the periodic sequence we represent with the help of this exponential signal, and k equals to period n, and this period n can be anything, like we can represent like this summation of k 0 to n minus 1 xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n. So 0 to 1 n minus 1 is just one example, or you can take just any limit. The period is capital N, and this xpk is known as a discrete Fourier series coefficient. Discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, means from here we can say that this is our assumption. One periodic sequence xpn can be represented by finite sum of this finite sum of one exponential signal. Okay, and this k is a period means 0 to n minus 1 or anything, or you can take like this, let xpn, this is our assumption, let xpn equals to 1 by n, this k equals to period n xpk e to power j 2 pi nk. Okay, so this is let this is equation a, this equation a represent a periodic sequence xpn. Okay, or we can say that discrete Fourier series representation of a periodic sequence xpn. Now, to prove our assumption, it is very important to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient. Where this xpk is the discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, discrete Fourier series coefficient. Now, it is very important to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient. If you are able to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient, then we can say that the assumption what we taken in the equation A, that is the discrete Fourier series representation of xpn with the help of exponential signal, is correct. Now, to find this, what I will do, this xpn, let this equals to 1 by n. Okay, if you want, you cannot take, means if you want, you can not consider this 1 by n, is correct only. Just I'm taking 1 by n. If you don't want to take, you can remove 1 by n, that is also correct. So xpn equals to summation of k, that I'm taking 0 to n minus 1 xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n. Let I'll multiply this xpn with e to power minus j 2 pi n l by n. When you multiply left hand side e to power minus j 2 pi n l by n, then same you have to do with the right hand side. Yes or not? That is 1 by n summation of k 0 to n minus 1 xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n e to power minus j 2 pi nl by n. Okay. Now what I will do? Moreover, I will take like this summation of let n equals to 0 to n minus 1. Okay. That is I am taking summation of n 0 to n minus 1. Clear? Now, this is some interchangeable we can do. We can write like this 1 by n summation of k 0 to n minus 1 xpk. This is summation of n 0 to n minus 1, and this term is e to power j 2 pi n by capital N, it is a K-mine cell. Okay, clear? Now, got like this, summation of n 0 to n minus 1, this is your xpn e to power minus j 2 pi nl by n. We got here 1 by n summation of k 0 to n minus 1 xpk summation of n 0 to n minus 1 e to power 2 pi n by n. This is your k minus n. Okay. Now, if this k minus l equals to 0, okay, first we'll take let k minus l not equals to 0, then what will happen? If k minus l not equals to 0, then this k minus l, let some integer m, then what will happen? Then summation of n 0 to n minus 1 e to power j 2 pi n m by capital N, that is summation of n 0 to n minus 1 e to power j 2 pi this m n by n to power n, then it is e to power minus 1 minus e to power j 2 pi m by n multiply capital N divided by 1 minus e to power j 2 pi m by n. Now you all people know, now see this n will cancel, e to power j 2 pi m equals to 1, then 1 minus 1 equals to 0, 0 by denominator equals to 0. Means if k minus l not equals to 0, we are reaching at point 0. So we cannot find this discrete Fourier series coefficient xpk. So this condition we will not take. So the second case, this is the first case. Now we come to the second case. If we come to the second case, if k minus l equals to 0, that is k equals to l, then what will happen? If k equals to l, then let this the equation b, then what happen to the equation b? Then it is summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xpn e to power minus j 2 pi nl by capital N equals to 1 by n. Now see here, it is a k equals to l. So out of here, if you see in the equation B, k equals to 0 to n minus 1. Out of 0 to n minus 1, we are choosing only single point k equals to l. Yes or not required all the point, because according to this condition, k minus l equals 0, that is k equals to l, single value. So what I will do, I will remove this summation. Out of this 0 to n minus 1 point, I will take only single point, that is equals to l. Then this xpk become xpl, and this is summation of n 0 to n minus 1. And if you see e to power j 2 pi n by n, this k minus l, since it is k equals to l, then it is 0, so e to power 0 equals to 1. So you can put 1, that is 1 by n xpl multiply summation of 0 to n minus 1. 1 means when you add 1 n number of time, because 0 to n minus 1 means total capital N number of point. So when you add 1 n number of time, then it is n. So n will cancel. So simply it is xpl. Okay, means we got here summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xpn e to power minus j 2 pi n l by n equals to xpl. Now L is a variable, we can replace by k, no problem. So finally xpk, I replace this L by k, no problem. Summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xpn e to power minus j 2 pi nk by capital N. Okay, means we can say that we started with the assumption that a periodic sequence can be represented. See, if you see this equation A, we started with the assumption that a periodic sequence XPN, a periodic sequence XPN can be represented by an exponential signal. Okay, because here XPN is the periodic sequence, no doubt. Okay, and we return this equation based on this exponential signal. Since exponential signal is a periodic signal, okay, so we return this equation. Now what to prove our assumption, what we did, we just did some little mathematics, and finally we reach, means we can say that finally we able to find the discrete Fourier series coefficient XPK. Okay, we able to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient XPK. So I can say that our assumption is correct. Yes or not? We can say that our assumption is correct. Okay, means now we can write any periodic sequence XPN can be represented by its discrete Fourier series form like this. XPN equals to 1 by n summation of k equals to period n. If you want, you can take 0 to n minus 1, but in general, I'm writing xpn equals to summation of k period n xpk e power j 2 pi nk by n. Okay, and the discrete Fourier series coefficient xpk equals to summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xpn e to power minus j 2 pi nk by n. So this is your discrete Fourier series representation of a sequence XPN. Okay, so this is your discrete Fourier series representation of sequence XPN, and this XPK is known as a discrete Fourier series coefficient of XPN. Clear? So this is the discrete Fourier series representation of any periodic sequence XPN. Okay, I hope you people understand. Okay, again we will repeat, no problem. See what we did, simple. I taken one exponential signal x of n e to power j 2 pi nk by n, and this x of n is periodic because e to power j 2 pi n plus capital N k by n equals to same e to power j 2 pi n k by n. So what I did, I I want to represent any periodic sequence xpn by using this exponential signal. For that purpose, we written like this: xpn equals to sum. This is also correct. Summation of k equals to period n xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n, and this is very important factor, that xpk, the discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, since I taken like this, so again I'm changing here 1 by n, but if you want to take simple without 1 by n also correct. Okay, so we can take like this 1 by n. Clear? Also correct. So then means this equation represents the discrete Fourier series representation of a periodic sequence xpn. And later that to satisfy our assumption, because this is the assumption, what I did, simple. I taken one exponential signal and I represent a periodic sequence xpn with the help of this exponential signal. Means what I did, I taken finite number of exponential signal or finite sum of exponential signal with some coefficient. Okay, or you can say that what I did, just weighted sum of this exponential signal. Yes or not? Simple. I multiplied one coefficient xpk with exponential signal and I added. Okay, I added up to n number of times, 0 to n minus 1 or whatever you can take, just the period of capital N added, and I represent that is the periodic sequence XPN. So this equation A is represents discrete Fourier series representation of sequence XPN, and to satisfy our assumption, we did this mathematics and finally we reach this discrete Fourier series coefficient of XPN. Okay, so this two, if you want to summarize, we can say that discrete Fourier series representation of XPN given by XPN equals to 1 by n summation of k equals to period n xpk 8 bar j 2 pi nk by n. Okay, where this xpk is a discrete Fourier series coefficient of xpn equals to summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xpn 8 bar minus j 2 pi nk by n. Okay, so equation A represent discrete Fourier series representation of a periodic sequence XPN, and equation B represent the discrete Fourier series coefficient of a periodic sequence XPN. Okay, I hope you all people understand. Now come to property of discrete Fourier series. Property of discrete Fourier series. Okay, we'll discuss the property of discrete Fourier series. A property of discrete Fourier series. The first property is the linear property. Linear property means if discrete Fourier series coefficient of xp1 n equals to xp1k and discrete Fourier series coefficient of xp2n equals to xp2k, then discrete Fourier series coefficient of a1 xp1n plus a2 xp2n or plus or minus a2 xp2n equals to a1 xp1k plus or minus a2 xp2k. Okay, this is the linear property of discrete Fourier series. Okay, the proof is very simple. So what is this linear property? If a discrete Fourier series coefficient of xp1n is xp1k, xp2n is xp2k, then discrete Fourier series coefficient of a1 xp1n plus or minus a2 xp2n equals to a1 xp1 plus or minus a2 xp2k. Means discrete Fourier series coefficient of weighted sum of input equals to simple. It's a weighted sum of it's a what individual discrete Fourier series coefficient. Clear? Discrete Fourier series coefficient of weighted sum of input. Weighted sum means a1 xp1n plus or minus a2 xp2n equals to say weighted sum of its individual discrete Fourier series coefficient. This xp1k is discrete Fourier series coefficient of xp1n, and xp2k is discrete Fourier series coefficient of xp2n, and this a1 xp1k plus or minus a2 xp2k means it is the weighted sum of its individual discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, so this is the linear property of discrete Fourier series. If you want to see the proof is very simple. Okay, now see, I'll give the proof. Discrete Fourier series coefficient of a1 xp1n plus or minus a2 xp2n equals to summation of n 0 to n minus 1 a1 xp1n e to power minus j 2 pi nk by n. Okay, sorry, a1 xp1 n plus or minus a2 xp2n multiply e to power minus j 2 pi nk by n. Just do the separation, summation of n 0 to n minus 1. This is a1 xp1n e to power minus j 2 pi nk by n plus or minus a2 summation of n 0 to n minus 1 xp2n e to power minus j 2 pi nk by n, that is equals to a1 x1k plus or minus a2 xp2k. It's proved. Okay, so this is the linear property of an discrete Fourier series sequence. Okay, we can do one small problem. Okay, problem we'll do later, no problem. Now, okay, after this first this lecture is okay. The next lecture we will see some more property of discrete Fourier series. Okay, so we started with the discrete Fourier series just for review point of view. See, like continuous time Fourier series, any periodic signal can be represented by infinite sum of sinusoidal signal, that is sine or cosine signal, where a n bn is the coefficient. This is very very important. Okay, this a n bn and a0 decides the type of periodic signal. Now same way means in continuous domain, like by using weighted sum of sine and cosine signal, because an is multiplied to cos and bn is multiplied to sine. This weighted sum of sine and cosine, when you taken up to infinite number of time, we are getting a periodic signal. Okay, now I use the same concept to represent for an periodic sequence in the discrete domain. So for that, what I did, I taken one exponential signal, and this exponential signal is periodic by nature. Then I claim that any periodic signal can be represented by weighted sum of this exponential signal. Yes or not? Means with the help of this exponential signal, and for that purpose, we just taken one assumption that xpn equals to 1 by n summation of k equals to period n xpk e to power j 2 pi nk by n, where this xpk is important part is known as discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, now to satisfy our claim, we just did some mathematics and we just did some mathematics. Finally, we able to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient xpk. Okay, able to find this discrete Fourier series coefficient xpk, means we can say that our claim was correct, not a problem. So after that, we just summarize this equation A represent the discrete Fourier series representation of an periodic sequence xpn. Here xpn is the periodic sequence, and this xpk is a discrete Fourier series coefficient of this xpn. Okay, after that, we studied one property, this is the linear property of a discrete Fourier series. Clear? I hope you all people understand, and I given this proof also. Yes, this is the proof, simple proof. Okay, means that discrete Fourier series coefficient of weighted sum of input equals to weighted sum of individual discrete Fourier series coefficient. Okay, so next class we will discuss some problem and some more property. Thank you. We'll stop here. Thank you so much.